morning, everybody. It is Saturday, November 8th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome to all of you, and thank you for coming by. If you need to reach out to me for any reason, I'm on Ravelry for as BobbleHeadKnits. I'm on Reddit as BobbleHeadKnits. And I'm also bobbleheadknits@gmail.com if you want to just send me an email. All right, I'm over here doing this thing with the puppet, so I might as well get into it. This is a finished object. It is my brother-in-law's Musselburgh hat, and I knit it with the Zobber ball, and it came out pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. I knit until I had about 10 grams. And then I started the decreases, and it is, I don't know what I was going to say. Who knows? But I ended up with 4 grams of this yarn left, so not a bad attempt to use a whole skein of yarn, I'd say. So this is a Christmas gift, so happy that I got it done. It was a Christmas, not in July cast on, but shortly after that, so that's done. All right, whips. I'm not going to have as many whips to show you. We won't talk about what happened to my daughter-in-law's sweater, which is not totally gone, but we'll see. Next week I'll have an update for you, and I'll fill you in. Either it's still with us or it's not. So, all right, let's talk about, I have another, this doesn't really count as a finished object, but I'm going to show it to you as a finished object because it's really about done. And plus, this goes into whips. So as many of you know, I have knit Olivia the elephant out of the Knitted Wild Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. There it is. And you can see right there, it's kind of blurry, but Olivia's sitting over there. And I'm knitting her for my daughter for one of her Christmas gifts. And I'm now knitting a skirt, a tutu. So the tutu requires multiple layers of fabric. So I have the first underlayer done. Petticoat, I guess you would call it. Petticoat Junction. Remember that show? A few of you might. I love that show. So I've knit the first petticoat to go under the tutu, and yeah, it still needs to be stitched up and back, but it is otherwise done and an easy quick knit. And I will be knitting the rest of it hopefully this week. So I'm knitting that in Skepshe's Catonia, and the colorway, I want to say it is Snow or something like that. It's like the whitest white they have. So, all right, so that was whip number 1, and then whip number 2, I made some progress on my husband's Botanical sock, and I've already knit one of these, so this is the second sock. I finished the leg, as you can see. I finished the top of the foot, so it'll go like this. And so I just need to do the heel and the bottom of the foot, and then the toe. And so it's coming. And that's also, it was done with Skepshe's Arcadia, and there's hair all over it. And then another Zobber ball. So, well, I got a few different types of yarn I'm knitting with this week. So, but it's beautiful. I'm really happy. This is a Stephen West sock pattern, and highly recommended. I will knit another pair of these because they are any kind of gradient skein. It's a perfect use for, and then a solid. And yeah, happy with it. And I do have the other one, so I just need to finish that one and then I will be done. All right, do I have any other whips to show you? Not that I can show you today. So as I said, my daughter's cardigan, there might be some major drama going on with that. So I'll tell you about it next week. I'll know for sure. All right. Do not knit on any of my other whips. I'm just, you know, trying to focus on 1 or 2 things each week. All right. Stash enhancements, otherwise known as acquisitions. I did get a few things. This first one is an advent, and I'm only going to show you the back of the bag. Okay, there it is, this little bag. This is from Woolens and Nosh, and the front is decorated, so I don't want to give it away. And then there are 2 skeins of yarn in here, and then a mini. I got the DK weight, and they are meant to knit like socks or a small item. I am debating either fingerless mitts for myself or socks with this. And yes, I will be casting it on before December 1st, assuming that I finish one of those 2 projects I just showed you. So yes, it came this week. And I also have the Freckled Whimsy Advent skein. And those 2, I am not waiting until December to cast on. As I finish some of these other whips, then I will cast those on. All right. Next up, this is another stash enhancement, kind of. Sorry for the crinkle. Some of you will know that I bought myself a sewing machine and I am learning how to sew. So I've decided that I need to make myself a Christmas bag. So I bought 2 different fabrics. I bought a yard of each from Spoonflower, I believe that's it. And I will show you. There it is. The first one, these are like old-fashioned ornaments, and I don't know, they just made me smile. Look at those. Yes, so I got a yard of this. It's just a cotton, like a cotton twill. I don't know. I didn't know the first thing about fabric, so no clue. But I'm told that this will make a good fabric or a good project bag. So this, and originally I got this thinking it would be the inside of my bag, but I don't know. I might make it the outside of the bag because I like this. I mean, I like it more than I thought it would. So, but then the fabric that I really was planning to use on the outside, I kind of need to open this up a bit because so that you get the full effect. My husband's like, that's some weird fabric. I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like it. So, but I don't know now if I want this on the outside or the inside, and you can tell me what you would do, and then maybe I'll do what you recommend, or maybe not, but we'll see. So here it is, look. Yes, it's toadstools and Christmas trees. Yes. And I actually really like it. So I'm now torn on what to put in to use as the lining and what to use for the outside of the bag. And I still haven't picked a pattern, so conceivably I could make 2 bags. I could make one with like the fabric on the outside. Like I could do one with the mushroom or the toadstools on the outside and the other with the ornaments on the outside. That's one solution. But if I only knit one or sew one bag, which one would you pick to be the outside fabric? So again, we have Christmassy toadstools, which I'll show you again. There it is. And then we have the old-fashioned Christmas ornaments. So, all right. Okay, I'm gonna launder that fabric, sorry, and then pick out a pattern and go from there. And I'm not sure, so far the only real bags that I made my grandson's trick-or-treat bag, so it was a tote bag. And I was like really thinking a zipper bag, but I'm thinking now I'll just do a drawstring bag because that seems a little bit easier for my second project. And I was reminded not too long ago, I think it was Amber at Ambi Marie Knits, you get yarn stuck in zippers, like when you have bags like this, when you zip it, sometimes yarn gets stuck. So I'm leaning towards just doing a pull string bag. I like zipper bags because I feel like they're more secure, but then there's that whole snagging the yarn thing. So we'll see. All right. I also purchased another advent. I failed at restraint. I ordered the very last Naughty Knitchers stitch marker Nightmare Before Christmas advent, and I was back and forth about it because I was like, I don't really need any more stitch markers, but I so loved the she did a Halloween stitch marker advent, and I so loved it. And then I was talking back and forth with another knitter, and she's like, there's only one left, and yeah, so yeah, I gave in. I got it. I'm pretty sure it's shipping this week from Oregon, and I figured in case my big advent from Kettle Bums doesn't show up, this will be, you know, a nice alternative, not the best. I won't be doing Christmas or Vlogmas, by the way. I just don't have time. I might do something, but I probably won't do like traditional daily ones, so just so you know. Other knitting news, I don't really have any. Let's see, life, it was just a very busy week, and it was, so I've said this before, my job goes every quarter there's a month where it is just mayhem, and this has been the month, and so this week was the peak of the mayhem, and we're now it's gonna taper off this week, and then it'll be back to normal. But because it was the peak, I worked a lot of overtime this week, and I just, yeah, a lot of work. So not a lot of knitting, but you know, it happens. I got a little bit of knitting done. All right, what books, as far as books and watching, nothing great watching wise. Books, I finished a really good book last week. I don't think I told you about this book last week. Pretty sure I didn't. But I highly recommend it. It's called The Dead Husband Cookbook by Danielle Valentine. It is a very famous chef. Her husband died like 30 years ago, and she's decided to write her memoir, but she wants a very specific book editor to handle it, and no one can figure out why. And so there's this huge mystery about it, and she insists that the book editor has to come out to her farm in upstate New York and do all the work there. Like, book editors typically work in an office, right? But no, she wants the book editor to come up to upstate New York. So she does, and there's this big mystery, and it unravels, and it's just a really good book. And if you're into cooking, it's a very good book because there are all these recipes mixed in with the book. I did not try any of the recipes, mainly because I don't cook very often. I mean, I do, but not regularly. And I have my go-to. Most of the recipes were Italian recipes, and I have my go-to Italian recipes that I prefer to use. So I was like, yeah, I don't need your recipes, but it was still a nice gesture. I'm evening out my hoodie. Sorry, it's pulling on the drawstrings. All right, that's about it. That's all I have. Very short episode. Next week, I will reveal what is going on with the daughter-in-law's cardigan. I will know this weekend officially what is happening with it. But I didn't want to wait to post, so I'm, going forward. And that's all I got. All right. Everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you next weekend. Bye.